Governor Hyacinth, Rev.Father Hyacinth Alia have just committed blasphemy. The only Reverend Father who became a politician and now the governor of Benue State has committed blasphemy. Governor Ali has said our Jehovah God is a liar, so he has ended up committing blasphemy. He blasphemed against God when he said that there is no genocide in Nigeria and there is no jihad in Nigeria. He committed blasphemy against God because right now even God knows that his children are being unalived in Benue State. Even God himself knows that his children are being unalived on regular basis in Plateau State, in selected villages, and their lands are being taken over. Churches are being burnt down. The blood of the Christians martyrs who have been unalived in northern Nigeria have cried unto heaven, and God has answered. No, Jehovah God himself knows that there is genocide and there is jihad against his people in Nigeria. But here, the Reverend Father turned politician and governor is saying there is no genocide and there is no jihad in Nigeria. I have a question for you, Mr. Governor. If there is no jihad in Nigeria, how come when they are unaliving these people, burning their houses, driving them into cages and setting them on fire, why do they scream Allahu Akbar? Why are they saying God is great? Why are they praising the name of God? Allahu Akbar is the chant of war. It's the jihad chant that motivates those who are doing the work of God, who feel they are doing the work of God. If it is not a genocide, if it is not a jihad, why do they scream Allahu Akbar? We hear it in videos. We see them every day. Be it Boko Haram or ISWAP. They scream Allahu Akbar and they go on unaliving Christians. The more these people deny, the more the terrorists try to prove them wrong. You can see from the attack in Eruku in broad daylight, they attacked that church. They kidnapped and unalived the Christian worshippers. And then somebody is saying there's no genocide. Somebody is saying there's no jihad. This was the same governor who denied Peter Obi access to the IDP camps in Benue State. Right from the inception of his government, Governor Hyacinth Alia has been disappointing us. The people voted for him because they thought they could trust, at least they could trust the Reverend Father. It is the same person who is declaring today that there is no Christian genocide in Nigeria. The same person who is saying that there is no jihad. If the Pope can say Christians are being persecuted in Nigeria, if the Pope can declare that Christians are being persecuted in Nigeria, it's not the Pope of Africa, not the Pope of Nigeria, the Pope of the world says Christians are being persecuted in Nigeria. Then who is Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia? Who is he? I'm sure the APC government must have called out to him to say, can you come out and join the train of lies to tell the world that there's no genocide? And the Reverend Father Alia decided to play along. You have disappointed Christians. You have blasphemed against God. Because the blood of the Christian martyrs have cried unto heaven. And God has heard. I know that God has heard because I have a relationship with God. I know when God listens. At a time that God is beginning to intervene, a Reverend Father has blasphemed against God. How many Reverend Fathers have been unalived by terrorists? How many Reverend Fathers have been kidnapped, particularly in the northern part of Nigeria? I no longer understand these Reverend Fathers. Not even our dear Martin Cooker. What is going on? Let not the international community be deceived. If you are looking for men of God who will speak the truth, call on Dr. Paul Eneche. Call on Pastor Ezekiel Dachomo. They will tell you the true state of things. Not pastors who want to sound politically correct. Pastors like Paul Adefarasin. Pastors like Femi Lazarus. Pastors like the camp president. We have people who are ready to speak the truth. Bishop Oyedipo is one of them. If the international community wants to hear the truth, you should know whom to go to. Nobody in the government of Nigeria can be trusted today. They are all in denial. Anybody in government can no longer be trusted. They all want to sound politically correct. Let me tell you, Rev.Father Alia, unless you repent, if you do not repent, that curse pronounced by Pastor Ezekiel Dachomo will befall you. Any Christians who deny there's no jihad against us in Nigeria, any Christians who deny there's no genocide against our brethren, that Christian has blasphemed against God. Why? Because God himself knows that his children are being unalived every day. And he has decided to intervene. For vengeance is his. Vengeance is the Lord's. So let not the international community be deceived. Donald Trump will welcome you. We are not ashamed to welcome the intervention by the president of another country, because our government has failed us. And they have continued to fail us. Brigadier generals are being unalive. They are being unalive like chicken. It is the shame of our nation. And we can no longer hide it anymore. We are no longer ashamed to say, we need help. We need external help. We need external help. I repeat, if there's no jihad in Nigeria, why do they shout Allahu Akbar when they are unaliving Christian, when they are maiming them, burning their houses, tearing open pregnant women, and throwing their babies into the fire? May God help the body of Christ.